And welcome back, and Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Eve. It is 4:29 p.m. Arizona time. So welcome back to the Shadow Gallery. I'm James Donnelly, and we've got a lot of ground to cover today. So we're probably going to see at least this section. There's probably going to be another 10, we're going to have this 10-minute segment, and then we're going to have another 10-minute segment, more than likely, because we got, like I said, a lot of ground to cover. We're going to be talking about comics. We're going to be talking about some gaming, and we're going to talk briefly about a teaser trailer that many of you probably know about or have heard about if you follow that sort of thing. But anyway, since it's since obviously it's a new week. Well, it's not a new week, but it's the end of a new week. And last week, comic book wise, there really wasn't much to write home about. But this week there is, and I'll tell you why. Because it's Brubaker and Millar week. This week during comic book week here, which is always a good thing. Well, okay. In the case of Brubaker and Brubaker week, it's always a good thing to see lots of Brubaker. Ed Brubaker is, as I've probably said, I don't know if I've said it here, but I've definitely said it before, either on Facebook or on Twitter, that Ed Brubaker is consistently the best writer working in comics today. He's just perfect. He never misses a beat. He always has great stuff to work on. Thinks up great plots, great cliffhangers. So we're going to spend some time talking about the two books that came out of his this week, which are have here Secret Avengers number 8, and also we have number 2 of Incognito, Bad Influences. Now, Secret Avengers is currently the only Avengers book that I have on my pull list. The reason for that isn't just that it's Brubaker, although that is a pretty big reason. It's a big reason because I had Bendis's just standard Avengers title on there for a while, and I love Bendis in a kind of different way but he tends to be kind of like big hit and slight miss. It's not like some of the other authors out there who are pretty, it's like they're either really great or they really suck. He's pretty much, it's either, kind of mildly entertaining or it's really entertaining. And, his work on Avengers, the flagship Avengers title, and of course, the art of John Romita Jr. and, the inks by Klaus Janson, It's good stuff. It's solid, but it's just lacking. It's lacking, in my opinion. But on Secret Avengers, first of all, you've got Brubaker, writing a team book. He did X-Men before, so I guess it's not, and that run had its ups and downs. The Fall of the Shire Empire, that was a really excellent arc. Great work that he did on that. Some of the stuff they did after that, like the Extremists arc, got a little boring for my taste. But anyway, he's working here with Mike Deodato, Mike Deodato Jr., excuse me, who is a great artist, terrific. He does a lot of very kind of dark art. His colors, the colors that they tend to use, that he tends to use, are very muted, a lot of shading, which is appropriate, of course, for this book because it's the, quote unquote, a black ops version of the Avengers. They're the secret Avengers. They're the ones that nobody's really supposed to know about, and they're going against the threats that are too under the radar. They're being more proactive, kind of in hunting down the villains, as opposed to the reactive quality of the Avengers and the New Avengers. Now, admittedly, I have not read the most recent incarnation of the New Avengers, but I just and also I love the team lineup that's on here. I mean, you got Steve Rogers, who's still kicking ass and taking names. You've got Moon Knight. You've got Beast. You've got Valkyrie. You got Black Widow. You got Ant-Man. You got War Machine. So I mean, it's just as far as a Avengers lineup, it's really unusual. It's really fun. And it's really quite compelling too. And in this most recent arc right now is focusing on Shang-Chi, the master of Kung Fu, who's I mean, very obviously based on Bruce Lee when he was created back in the 70s. Now his father, and I know this is a subject of some dispute, his father, because the rights of the character of who apparently is supposed to be his father, because his father apparently is supposed to be Fu Manchu, but nobody has the rights to use that name, so they use kind of a different likeness, I guess, something to that effect. So I guess it's never really been established that his father really is Fu Manchu, but he's supposed to be. And they keep giving him no name. Now they finally gave him a name in this issue, but it's not Fu Manchu. It's like his ancestral name or whatever. And give him more of a little bit of a backstory that the way that he kind of keeps eternal life is that he basically used the life force of his brother, and can only be done by blood or kin, which is why he's after Shang-Chi right now. So there's a lot of asking, and there's what's the most interesting twist that Brubaker's put on this is that he's taken the very first America's first super soldier, which is John Steele, and he's made him part of the Shadow Council, which is which has been for this and part of the last arc has been the villainous organization, which is run by a life model decoy, a self-aware life model decoy of Nick Fury, which is really cool. So I mean, it's just he keeps adding on layers of just more and more coolness. So writing, art, plot, Secret Avengers, great title. If you're not reading it, you really, really should be, because it's just terrific stuff. I know we're running a little long here. I'm going to touch briefly on Incognito, Bad Influences. I'm going to talk about Brubaker and Sean Phillips, who has been, kind of a partner of his. It's like you think of certain teams of writer-artists over the years, Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams, Claremont and Byrne, Whedon and Cassaday, Morrison and Quietly, and there's Brubaker and Phillips, and they're just awesome when they work together. When they did, because they've done, they did Sleeper for Wildstorm, which is one of the great series of all time, and they did Criminal for Marvel, which is another great noir comic. This is like the pulp hero take of the superhero anti-hero, also for the Icon series. Anyway, so we're gonna pick this up in just a few moments, so stay tuned. Don't touch that dial.